Seriously.
No, I can't. It'll mess up your audio.
Oh, that's true. I'll be talking about it. Take your other camera.
It's kind of fun.
Okay. Even better. But not at me. Well, one. Yeah. Yeah, they can't do anything to themselves at that point.
The girl in the green dress is in the original?
She's Lex.
That's who you interviewed earlier?
No, I haven't interviewed her.
Okay. So who was it that you did with the like see-through skirt that like I thought was the girl from the original film? No. Who did you do early?
The little one?
Not the Maisie, but didn't you interview some girl that looked
No,
like...
who was right there with them.
You were just pointing out that girl's skirt. Okay.
Yeah.
But you did interview her.
No.
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 I thought you
No.
Jennifer, surprise. Can we like group you guys together?
Yeah, man. We'll take whatever
We're
we
gonna
can
try
get.
to group everybody
Yeah.
because they've got to go in.
We'll just have to lean in quickly for sound.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just like a couple questions.
Yeah, we'll do one question.
Okay.
You guys do the second
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
Does that work?
How about that?
Yeah.
I'm
I think it's just how do you feel to be here to finally release this.
as long as he stops, we're good.
Jeff or Chris?
Chris, but Jeff too.
Yeah. Jeff's pretty much the coolest cat on the planet.
Yeah, I heard will critique your outfit, so I'm not supposed to be here.
Jeff? Or he'll be like, oh, I like that.
Better. Well, for sound purposes, this is better.
You know, they had to get it, so apologies for the insanely generic. It hurts my soul really much.
That's okay.
I like to think of it.
Suffocated by the man.
He's the man.
That's true.
A little loose overreaction. You don't get to see that often. Come on now.
But I got Jeff Gear in the shot, which is exciting.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss it.
Jeff, Gear. Jeff.
Is that Jeff Gear?
Right, yeah, right there, in the glasses.
You might have me.
I will.
All right, I sent you an email.
Sorry.
Yeah, you'll have to sign.
Will do.
Where's Chris?
Hello.
Oh, got it.
Jason.
Okay, you ready?
Oh, yeah. You're probably going to get them together, but maybe you get Chris by herself.
Bring him here. We need Chris.
Yes,
Don't let him get
he
away.
will not go
You guys
past
aren't going to
this.
roll right after they're done, are you? Or like?
No.
Okay.
Well, we still want to get Bryce. We still want to get...
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
No, we're not going to.
Perfect.
We're going to draw them all. They have to stop at us, so that is
Okay.
the one lucky thing.
Perfect. Which
Generic questions or not, we get them.
Chris, Pat, and the original
Ariana.
Ariana.
I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
I know your name is Chris. My name is Chris. Yeah.
They come in. He's even. Has he been here? No. We just shared.
We have on video Stephen saying he read my whole book and really thought of it.
And I've gotten approved to say go Hawks after the Antiques. The real MVP.
Can you get this for your...
I'll know his handler and I told her to make sure.
Okay. And so we're running
Work it.
I don't know. Well, he is sitting through the movie, so maybe I just
Like it's Steve. I kind of like to have a son.
That might not be.
Yeah. Maybe another time.
It's true. Hey guys. We'll get Jeff and Chris and Kate, right?
Yes, great.
They promised. They said they have to stop.
And while Jeff does this, we'll maybe take.
Is that the forbidden dance, or is it the lambada? The lambada is very close to the fandango. They're both highly forbidden. Baby.
Wait, I need help with that.
What can I do for you, Mr. Fandango? Unusual questions. What's the question?
So you might know the 25th anniversary of Jurassic
Last night, yes.
So we're asking everybody to please tell us what the Jurassic franchise is. That's why it's like they're ready for it.
FYI, clear out of this area. By the way.
I mean, back to a week.
Oh, I know.
I'm so glad you're back with me.
You only get one.
That's good.
He used to. He used to.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that.
Can't believe we're united and now we got to bring him on the carpet. That's not jaded.
You're getting it.
Oh no, for sure.
Oh yeah, that's it.
One in. I mean, believe me, if they're available, we are bringing them.
You're very excited. I see.
That's really funny, Jen.
It's the first thing I thought is just a
I saw that
13
documentary.
He's a brilliant director. He's a girl with his current cast.
I'm gonna. This is all gonna happen. No, I didn't.
What's up, dude?
So,
How's it feel to be here tonight? It's good to see you.
how you been?
Tip top. All right. Tip top. How are you feeling tonight? Serious face.
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be here. I can't believe we're at this point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it feels like just yesterday we were cracking the script open for the first time, or diving into this mountain of work, you know, and I guess you don't dive into a mountain. I'm working on my metaphors. We were at the bottom of this mountain. We were at the bottom of the sea of work. Oh, I'm messing it up. But it feels like it was just yesterday we got started, and I can't believe we're here. We're like presenting it to the world and presenting it, you know, at least here in the States, and this is what we do it for, you know.
And a night like this is huge. It's Jurassic.
It's huge.
It's everything's Jurassic size. It's
That's
huge.
right. Yeah, it's huge.
And I'm sorry, the worldwide reaction has been amazing so far.
Yeah, we're really thrilled. It's been received really well critically and commercially around the world so far, and you know, we're about a week away from opening up in China and another week from opening up in the States, and you know, if the rest of the world's any indication, I think people are really loving it and really gonna go out and see it, which is fantastic. It means we can probably do another one. That's cool.
And I know it means a lot to you to be here tonight.
It does. It means the world to me to be here. I mean, you know, I was just talking to Steven Spielberg a minute ago. I'm standing next to Jeff Goldblum right now. It's a little dreamy. I'm still kind of waiting for that moment where I wake up and I'm like asleep in a trailer. And I'm like, oh man, damn it.
You've been working with this for so long. What's it feel like to be here tonight?
I mean, it's incredible to get to be here tonight. This is the premiere of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and it's one of those things, we're here in LA where everyone who got to work on this movie, many of the people who are here tonight, and that's a big deal, including yourself. Like, to get to celebrate and be like, we're not in the jungle anymore.
It feels so good.
We're all dressed up and clean.
No bugs.
No bugs, not a bug in sight.
And you and Chris have forged such a great relationship on and off screen. To be able to celebrate in this way and at these events, does that mean a lot to you?
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, it's so cool that I really feel like everyone that I get to work with on these movies is a real friend. And you know, it's not always that way. I've actually been, for the most part, super lucky, but the bond that this cast has is pretty remarkable, you know, and Chris in particular, he's just like, he's he's my best buddy. I love him. I love him so much. And so it's really, really, really fun.
And between you guys and the dinosaurs, this has resonated with fans all around the world once again. What does it mean to you, like, to see that reaction over and over again and see how you're bringing this franchise to the fans?
Oh my goodness! You know, I mean, it's this incredible thing with Jurassic World that we hope to just honor the legacy that Michael Crichton and Steven Spielberg began with Jurassic Park 25 years ago, and the fact that people liked Jurassic World and enough so that we got to do another movie is, I mean, that's incredible. And I think that for me, having kids who are, I mean, my son is 11, and when I saw Jurassic Park for the first time, I was 12. Like, that means so much to me that he's going to go to the theaters and watch this movie opening weekend with his friends, and like, that's incredible. That's the best.
25 years ago, you were doing this walk, and here you are, you're back. How's it feeling, my friend?
Really, fun. Fun, it's fun. Fantastic. I'm grateful, I'm lucky. Steven Spielberg. This cast, this movie, Colin Trevorrow wrote and directed the last one, wrote this one, and J.A. Bayona, brilliant director. I get to play this part again, who gets to say a smart thing or two about a thing or two, anti-science, anti-militarism.
Not anti-science.
And no, pro-science. Thank you, my wife. Oh gosh, was I wearing a hat? Okay, I'm so glad to. Where am I? No, yes, no. So, but anyway, pro-science and yes, to contribute to a world that works for everyone. Yeah, that's my character. I like to talk about that.
I just want you to have a good time tonight.
I'm gonna have a laughing fit in a second. You don't want to see that.
Man, how are you feeling tonight?
I feel like everyone's like very like serious in Hollywood, and I'm like walking behind, like giving bunny ears to Spielberg. Like I'm here. Can you believe this? Like I should not be here, but I am.
You should be here.
I guess.
You worked so hard on this movie. I know that not one moment of that was taken for granted.
No.
And now your reaction during the junket was like excited throughout the whole thing. And now at the premiere, I mean, like, how do you feel? Like, they're not messing around. This is huge.
It's real. It's like we were at Camp Jurassic for all that time. And now it's like, no, this was a real thing. That wasn't something that I dreamt. Like, this all really happened. And I'm, before I even got this movie, I was the biggest Jurassic Park fan. I mean, truly. Like, I don't really, I only see horror movies if I go to the theater. But Jurassic World was that movie that I was like, no, I got to make an exception because this meant way too much to me in my childhood.
And I know, like, the emotions run deep. Like, now you're part of the Jurassic family. You're part of you've got your action figure. You've got all
I know, I got a Lego. It's crazy.
So, are you excited? Have you seen it with an audience? Jessica said he just saw it with you.
Yeah, it was just the two of us.
Yeah.
So, no, I have not.
So, what are you looking forward to experiencing up there?
I'm really looking forward to the people around me who may not know that I'm like sitting behind them and just hearing their reactions. And I'm really excited, after the premiere for little girls to be really hyped on my character. I think that's just gonna blow my mind.
What did it mean to play this character, which had so many different layers, and you seem to relish it and it seemed custom made for you, laughs, but also you brought some emotion to it. You brought some depth.
It was really an honor to play a woman who is so intelligent, who has a background in medicine, who's science-minded, especially during a time, both in the film and, in real life where people are questioning science and they're questioning hard data, which I can't even wrap my head around it. It's baffling. So to be able to play this woman at this time is, it's an honor.
And you having been a fan of Jurassic Park, now, we mentioned being a part of this whole thing, but fans all around the world, this is a global thing. They're already going crazy for you. They're going crazy for this movie. What does that mean to you? How does it feel?
Oh, it's the best. I don't know. I love to make people happy.
So, hey, man, you worked your butt off on this set. It was massive from beginning to end, and now here you are. How are you feeling being at the premiere?
I'm feeling pretty good. This movie, the original movie's meant so much to me, so to be here right now is surreal. Yeah.
Well, you also seem to have a blast on set creating this character and being part of this world. J.A. put you through a bit of hell.
Yeah,
he
did.
Kept you on your toes.
Yeah, he did. I love that stuff as an actor, so I definitely was like, yeah, I'm on board for this. But then I got into the thick of things, and was being scared all the time, and I was like, just my adrenaline glands were shot at the end of the shooting. Yeah.
This sort of thing, it has made a splash all around the world. Audiences are going crazy for it. Like, how excited are you to have audiences finally experience this after all you put into it?
I'm really happy. I hope that this movie meets their expectations and exceeds them. You know, I hope lifelong fans of the series are happy with what they see, and then new fans, which I don't understand how there could be new fans because the originals are so iconic, but new fans also fall in love with this film.
You know, you mentioned you're a fan, and this means, like, what does it mean? You're part of it. What does this mean to you? How's it feeling? And you're broing out with, like, Daniela and Chris and Bryce, and now you're tight. You were part of the Jurassic family.
Yeah, I guess I am now. That's true. I never really actually thought of it, but yeah, I guess I'm a part of the family. It's a lot of pressure, but I think they made it seem so easy. You know, Chris and Bryce and J.A., they made us feel so welcome. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's surreal.
What are you looking forward to most tonight? Reconnecting, or you were just at the junket?
I was, but yeah, I mean, I've seen these guys again. I love these guys. Also seeing the way the audience reacts to the film. I've seen the film, like, I saw the film a few days ago, just with like me and Daniela, and that was it. So I'm excited to see like the audience reaction. That's what I'm looking forward to.
So you mentioned a lot of hoopla, and here you are. There's not much more hoopla that you can get right here.
Yeah, no, these things, you know, when you go to the Academy Awards, that's the high point of it, or rather the low point of it. It's really, really ridiculous that we do this. You know, these things were, well, the Academy Awards were put on to publicize the industry, to make it more appealing to the public. And it's turned into this monster. And these somewhat, you know, it's all organized, the amount of money that are spent on these things in order to generate a little heat, to sell tickets so that people come to see it, and that makes a difference, and they can afford to make another $250 million film, which actually could have made 10 wonderful films. But that's all right. That's all.
You know, the thing at the end, everyone's coming here to see a good story well told, hopefully.
Well,
and,
Jay tells a great story. A wonderful story, and got a really nice cast. I can't speak for the dinosaurs, but it was an absolute delight in this circumstance to work with a director who cared about the performance. So that's sweet.
And you were working in a set in a world that was created for you so majestically. And these films are just massive, but they also take a good approach to the characters, I feel, as well.
Yeah. It's, the issue, as I have said before, the issues that I deal with are basically directed at the adults. I hope they understand the perilous circumstance that we find ourselves in now, because we are making the same mistake that the dinosaurs made. The dinosaurs couldn't do anything about it. We supposedly can do something about it. Do you know there is a meteor that is supposed to hit us? It flies past in 2029, and 6 years later it hits us. Now that's not me. That's Dyson. That's NASA. That's physicists are saying this. So, and yet we have this problem with global warming by burning fossil fuels, which is where these dinosaurs, when they existed. And it has become now the medium through which we are committing suicide as a species. We are taking the entire planet with us. And so that, I sort of say that in the film, I hope that line is still in there, that we don't have any self-control in terms of these technologies that we put so much stock in, and they turn against us because they become monsters on their own, and we become the dinosaurs.
Well, Michael Crichton has always taken that approach, the perils and the ethics behind genetics and what we should do for our world.
That's it.
So it's kind of nice to blend that with popular entertainment.
It is indeed. Yeah.
You know, 25 years ago, you did this whole run before. How's it feel to be 25 years later, looking much younger at the Walt Disney Concert Hall?
I love it. It's very positive for me. My mother's here, my son is here. It's very intergenerational for me. And it's the memories of this story that has been told over these many movies is deeply a part of my resume, you know. So I would be kidding myself if I said it wasn't important to me or that it wasn't meaningful. You know, it is what it is. We're entertainers, it's entertainment, and we're I think trying to provide an escape for people to get through the day. And I think these movies have done that in a big way. So I'm proud of them for that.
Well, also your character, these films become part of people's lives and hearts and souls, and so do the characters. And to see how your characters developed over the past couple films, it's been kind of delicious and juicy. That must be fun for you as an actor.
Juicy, yeah, because if you saw the first movie, or when you look at the first movie, you don't see that coming at all. And in fact, that was kind of put to bed for a while. We didn't think about him at all, and then he kind of came back in not a big way, but in a really interesting way. And I like that.
And for you, this has got such a global reach and global appeal. What does it mean to you, like, to be entertaining worldwide audiences? You know, you're so good on stage, you're so good in, TV shows and in films, but this also goes broadly.
It does, and it's probably and I think what you're saying is true. It's probably the one thing in my whole career that has done that in this way. And like I said before, it's something that you sign up for when you want to be an actor. Is you fantasize about reaching as many people as possible. I don't really necessarily care that much about fame per se, but I do want to be a storyteller, and you do want, as a storyteller, as many people to consume the story that you're telling as possible. So to see that success and to be a part of it with very little effort on my own part, I might add, is really, really lucky for me.
How are you feeling tonight? I know this was your first big movie. How was this first big premiere?
It's kind of a bit scary. I mean, there are so many people, but I'm so excited though. It's going to be really fun.
I mean, as you've watched this movie come together, like, have you seen the movie yet?
Yeah, I've seen it twice. It's really good.
Isn't it amazing? Like, how does it feel, and what are you excited for fans to see? They've been with this franchise for so long, longer than you've been alive, but then you bring it to a whole new era. Do you love that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and what are you most excited about tonight?
I'm not really sure. I guess I'll just see what comes, and I guess I'm not really sure.
Well, your co-stars Chris and Bryce fell in love with you, and were such a support for you. Are you going to be able to spend some time with them tonight?
I hope so. I haven't seen them yet, but I hope I will.
Look, you've had your share of big premieres in your life. This one's pretty darn big. How are you feeling tonight?
Well, it's great. It's always so exciting. I haven't seen the film, so it's a pleasure to come and see that. I'm very excited for J.A. anyway.
Well, he brought something so new to this franchise, and your character is such a fun character.
Yes.
And all.
Yeah.
It seemed like you all had a really good time with a legitimate filmmaker.
Yeah. Well, he brought his own sort of like darkness in a way to it, and a lot of suspense, even though it's a children's film, family film. I think people have been sort of like struck by how scary the domestic stuff is in it.
Right. And you mentioned on set that there's something about working with the invisible fantastic and working with the puppets and just looking at nothing and reacting.
Yeah.
How are you feeling tonight about how excited are you to see the dinosaurs?
Well, it'd be good to see the puppets joined up a bit, like and shiny and with all the detail, the extraordinary, which people sort of take for granted more and more, and it's so extraordinary, really, when you think about it.
Well, the artistry and technology that merged on this set was incredible.
They're the real stars of the whole show, in a way, the CGI people.
Well, it should be nice for you to have a nice reunion and to experience the film for the first time with an audience.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, how's it feel to be here tonight? Is it you and your buddy Frank Marshall looking back and seeing where you are today at the Walt
What's
Disney
everyone here for?
Do you just stumble into this place?
A couple of monsters bust loose and the place goes nuts. You
pretty much summed up the film. Thank you so much for being here tonight.
Well, I have to admit, I did save the day. Yeah.
You were the guy.
Well, I was part of the guy. The rest of the guy was eaten by about... No. This is very exciting. This is very exciting. And, to be a part of the franchise is probably one of the greatest franchises in the history of film. And in my 50th year in the business, it is very exciting. In my first movie, I died in John Wayne's arms, and I thought, doesn't get better than that, But it does.
And here you are tonight.
I lived in Jurassic World.
You're one of the few. Congratulations.
Yeah, let me talk to the director of the next one.
I think I'll put in a word with the producer. You might know from high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was that guy that put me in this movie I went to high school with?
Who knew?
He was an underclassman. We really didn't talk that much. Yes, we did. I used to say, keep up. Now he's saying anything he wants.
Anything he wants, just hit your marks.
And I say, yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir.
Well, I hope you have a great time tonight. This is an epic night.
I'm having a great time. But I have a great time all the time, but particularly tonight, because this is a very exciting thing. Go Jurassic World!
Man, you have been with this project for so long. Here. You've traveled the world. You've seen audiences embrace it. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel so relaxed now because it's very exciting because we really want to show the movie to all the people here. But we already showed the movie in Europe, and it's been such a rewarding experience that I feel a little bit relaxed tonight.
That's good.
A little bit, not that much, but yeah.
Well, I mean, at the concert hall too, with the music and the score that you've all put together in the package, it's pretty magical to see the size and scope of Jurassic.
It's fantastic to be here with this amazing cast. It's a dream cast, and we had such a great time doing the film, and we just want to show it.
And what do you want audiences to take away from tonight? How do you want them to experience tonight?
I think the movie basically should be a lot of fun for the audience. I think they're going to have a lot of fun. And also it's a movie that it's a little bit thought-provoking somehow. I think, all the Jurassic movies, the way they talk about man and nature and the relation that man has towards science, it's very interesting too. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but also it's going to be hopefully very interesting for them.
And what you also blend in are laughs and emotions. There's real depth in emotions. Was that fun for you to sort of, as a filmmaker, bringing that into it?
I think it's a very emotional take on Jurassic. I think we're bringing a little the sense of fear and suspense that we all love from the first Jurassic Park. This is something that from the very beginning, Colin Trevorrow and I agreed that we wanted to have suspense and try to scare a little bit the audience, but it's always like scare, but with a lot of fun. It's a scary fun, I would say.
25 years ago, you were doing this walk, and now here you are, 25 years later. How did you ever imagine you'd be here? 5th film into the franchise.
Well, look, I'm here by the talent and by the imagination of one person, Michael Crichton, who imagined an amazing series of stories based on science and combined with imagination. And so we're all here because of Crichton.
And what he's done of setting the stage, or what he did, to see how it's continued with J.A. and they keep pushing things further and further. How does that feel for you as a storyteller to see how you've created a world that fans and audiences can just dive into?
Well, it's kind of like being a birth parent, and then you give your kid up for adoption, but you're really proud of the adopted parents for doing a great job with your original idea or your original kid. Because Jurassic, I feel, is very much a part of my family, and but I was very happy to see it transfer over to Joe Johnston for a spell, and then over to Colin Trevorrow, and now over to Juan Antonio Bayona.
It's amazing.
And they all did great work with all those Jurassic, iterations.
And they've also taken your stamp of blending technologies to the next level. How does it feel to see the dinosaurs come to life over and over again in more amazing ways?
Well, I love that they're still dinosaurs and they're not movie monsters, but the integrity of these being animals that once existed 65 million years ago, and now they walk among us today, but the integrity that they're being treated as animals and not being treated as ferocious monsters. Yeah, you can call the Indoraptor a monster, you could call the T-Rex a monster, but they're still animals, and I think that they've kept the integrity of that intact.
Does it still give you the chills to see the wonder and awe of audiences as they react to this?
And I like in this movie how audiences getting tears in their eyes. I mean, there's a couple hanky moments in this that I never knew how to make a hanky moment out of the first Jurassic, or the second, but J.A. figured out how to do that.
Well, I hope you have a great time tonight. What you've laid out for all of us and the world is incredible. And to see it embraced by the world, does that still resonate for you?
It does. No. It's wonderful that it's still popular and it's not yet extinct.
Exactly. You went through this premiere circus, so to speak, last time around. How does it feel to be here tonight?
It's interesting this time because I wasn't on set every day for filming, so this will be the first time I see anything, a single frame or anything. Haven't seen the movie yet, haven't seen any cuts, any sequences, so that makes this a little more exciting, a little more nerve-wracking. as well.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, you're part of the architecture of Jurassic saga, the franchise. That's got to be incredible.
I mean, it's surreal because, you know, Spielberg started the whole thing, and to kind of come in and make this second half of the series and get your imprint on that is it's like a special honor and just exciting to get to play around in that universe and that world.
As a filmmaker, man, you've done this premiere route a couple times, but like it never disappoints. It's like Disney Concert Hall. After all the work you put into this,
Yeah, they can throw a party over here. They know how to do it. It's kind of amazing. You know, these things can get so small while you're making them. It could just be a couple people in a room writing or cutting images together, and then you come to something like this, and it's so big, and there's so many people who are about to sit in a theater and watch it and enjoy it, and it's just that's the magic of movies to me is something that can go from something so small to so massive in a matter of weeks.
in this film, like it's already playing around the world, and the reaction is huge, and people are getting back into it, just getting that love back. And how does that feel for you as being like helping craft where it goes now, and you are pushing it further than it's ever been?
You know, we make our decisions and we make all these choices, and they're made with such reverence and love for the franchise. I feel like we have this garden that we have to tend to, and we also are responsible for planting new seeds and growing something new. And that it's very delicate and very careful, and we have to be thoughtful. And yet, when we do it and people react in this way, it's just deeply satisfying. It's emotionally satisfying for all of us.
And there's almost nothing like seeing it in a big theater. How are you excited for tonight?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it's Disney, let's do it. Let's get it done.
How tired are you right now? What a month you've had.
It's been like, it seems like 6 years or something. It's like been like just one thing after the other, but it's been great. On all films that I love with people I'm really lucky to work with, and you know, no complaints. No complaints.
Well, I know that, you know, Jurassic's a special franchise for you from your very beginning.
Yes.
And then now to collaborate with J.A., who's such a music lover. What about this experience?
J.A. and I met about 9 years ago in Spain, and we were at a film music festival. And we were, you know, I was doing concerts there, and we were watching other people do concerts. And at night, we ended up meeting at this bar, and we started talking. We ended up having like a 4-hour conversation about Superman, you know. And so that's when I realized, oh, he's a lot like, we love the same things. We really approach things from the same point of view. It's like, we love the emotional core to any story. That's what we always go after, you know. And I love that's what he does in his movies, and he's such a, just visually too, what he's able to do. I don't know if you've seen all his films, but they're just visually stunning and beautiful, and the camera work is always spot on. It's like a great graphic novel come to life.
And you guys also share such a love for film that this, with your chance to bring Bernard Herrmann into it. And
well, I had talked to him and I said, look, let's, I said, what do you think about, what if Bernard Herrmann and Stravinsky had a baby? What would that score sound like? You know, I said, because that's what this film feels like to me. It feels like one of those movies I loved as a kid, the Ray Harryhausen films, you know, Mysterious Island, all of those things, Jason and the Argonauts. Like, there was some great music, and Bernard Herrmann worked on a lot of those movies and wrote these beautiful scores, and I was like, let's do that. Let's like have that kind of fun with it. Yeah, we're the worst kind of film nerds because we go really deep with all of it. And I can go as deep as I want, and he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, your score has been so highly acclaimed for the audiences around the world who have heard it and watched the film. And tonight, it's getting its big premiere. What does it feel to be here tonight, and how excited are you for audiences to experience it?
I've been really happy with the response so far because I was very sort of nervous. I was very happy to take it into this crazy new direction that we wanted to go, but at the same time, I thought people are going to like throw things at me. No, what are you doing with my beloved dinosaurs, you know? But I think, like I said, what we always did was just what's right for the story, what's right for the film, and if we're doing that, hopefully the audience can embrace it, have fun with it, and I just hope that the people who see it tonight feel the same way.
The film is already opened in other portions of the world and is doing really well. And again, we expect this one, like all the other Jurassic Park movies, to be very well as well. So we're going to get into it.
Hi there, Vali here. Now, staying with Steven Spielberg, I have some more on the award-winning director. Steven Spielberg was the first person to suggest the PG-13 rating, which indicates that only individuals who are 13 years or above can watch a movie. This happened because of the complaints made by parents over the PG ratings of movies like Poltergeist and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. By saying this, Spielberg suggested a new rating to MPAA president Jack Valenti for films that have too much adult content to be rated PG, but not quite enough to be rated R. The first film released with a PG-13 rating was Red Dawn from 1984. What's your favorite Spielberg film? Let me know below. And remember, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. Bye-bye.